Welcome to Amberg Acres. So we just got off a week of 16 inches of snow, the wet heavy type of snow that we get here in spring. It is the end of March right now. You probably won't see this video until the beginning of April or right around there sometime. But we had one day of 9 inches, wet heavy, collapsed my canopy up there that I have over the sawmill. One of the legs caved in and couldn't handle the weight of the snow. So basically this pole broke. It was repaired once before, and then it kinked this bar up here, which I think is easy. I can fix that no problem. But this is what happens. It fills up with water, snow, ice. And if you're not out here to push it off, it just keeps building until it breaks something. That's the problem with those canopies. They're nice, they keep the rain off of your stuff, but they do not hold up to the heavy wet snow at all. I lost one last year. I don't know if you remember that video, but I lost the other one that I had up there, which was a Shelter Logic brand. That one caved in. It's pretty much destroyed. Everything was kinked. All the pipes get kinked when it happens. Now this one here is fixable, easily fixable. But the one that I have there now is from Amazon. I don't know what the actual brand name is, but it was an Amazon one. It costed about $300. And the canopy is good yet. The tarp, it seemed heavy duty when we got it, or a little bit heavier duty than the Shelter Logic ones. But it's a regular pitched roof, okay? Not the arced ones that you see. I think the one with the arc on top would work much better because it would shed the snow off the sides easier. These are just the regular hip style, and the snow does not come off of there. You get this wet heavy snow and it just sticks, and yeah, it can't handle the weight. So we had a 9-incher that wrecked the canopy up there, and then a few days of 50-degree weather, so it seemed like a lot of it melted. I still had the piles and everything, but a lot of it melted away. And then we just got another 7-incher here this week here. So that was about 16 inches of wet heavy snow in about a week. It's time. So this what you see behind me here is what's left of this last one here. It's, I don't know, I'll say it's 3 or 4 inches on the ground right here where I'm standing. It's easy enough to drive through because it's hard this morning. It froze really hard last night, so it's hard this morning. But by 10 o'clock in the morning, it's like 8 o'clock right now. So by 10 o'clock in the morning, when the sun gets up straight up above, this all turns to mush. It all just gets real slick and slimy, and it's I can't even bring the tractor because the tractor will just sink in spots, and then you got ruts, So we're just using a 4-wheeler this morning, and we're going to be cleaning up some of the trails. There's a couple of trees down from the wet heavy snow and other things. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've been doing here to keep you up to speed on what I've been doing this year. So every year I tackle another section. So last year I didn't really do anything because we were working on the barn yet. But the year before, right behind the camera over here, I cut that whole area there to drop a bunch of the trees and get the light in and let it thicken up. And we'll take a walk through there and see what that looks like. Okay? That would be two years ago now. So that's after 2 years, I'll show you what that looks like. And I'll show you what I'm started on this spring or over the winter here. I've been working on it, and I'm going to try and plant something in there. And then I'll show you what we're cleaning up. Okay, so let's get started. So these trees right here, these little trunks you see here, one of them snapped off in the snow, And then I just pushing it over, trying to get it out of the way with the tractor. You know, I busted off this other little one, and there's a little one right there that I busted off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and cut that little stump down, right down to the snow, so that if I do come through here with the tractor or whatever, I'm not getting snagged on it and that type of stuff. So we're gonna cut those off, clean this up a little bit. So then when I get back to having the tractor out here, I can push this all in and kind of make my border a nice round turn going up that trail. That little tree right there, I think I'm gonna take down because it's kind of in the way when I'm coming out of here with a log or something on it. So if you remember in one of my other videos earlier this year, I talked about making corridors going east and west. So this is basically the start of a corridor, okay? And I took this little section of woods here, and I kind of cleaned out the middle. I'm gonna plant something in there. I don't know what it is yet. It's probably gonna be like a throw and grow type seed that I'm gonna throw in here. And just for this summer, try and get something growing. So I got those two stumps right there I want to get out of there. There's a big stump right here in the middle that I can't really do nothing with. But for the most part, I got that all cleaned up there. So we'll get something growing in here. This will eventually, what I'm hoping for this to grow in, I don't know if you can see it that well on the camera, but all these little trees, and I want to try and make sure that it's the hardwoods that are growing, not these things. These are, to me, this is a crap tree. It is a balsam, some type of balsam. I'm not sure which one it is. You know, there's different varieties of it. But I know that flat needle leaf is a balsam. And to me, they are just junk trees. They have no purpose as far as being in the woods here. So we're trying to, that's what all this was in here. You can see it all laying over here. I piled it up for a screen. Okay, it's all balsam. That's what grew here when they stopped farming this land. That's what grew, was the balsam, and they just let them grow. So there are a few, you know, I think that's a popple. There's a popple there. There's an oak. And this oak here got bent over in that last snowstorm. And I tried getting it to pop up, and I can't get it. It's like it's hooked up there on that other tree or something. And I can't get it to pop up. But we'll get them cleaned up. If I can't get that one to straighten out, I'll just cut it up into firewood. But yeah, that one right there that's broke off, that one I'll probably get cut too. Each year I do a little section, so that's this year's project was this section right here. And we're gonna get something planted in here. And then this continues, the food plot is right over there. So if I turn around, I want to kind of continue. If I continue this on a straight line like this, that'll come out up by the road up there where I showed you on one of the other videos where you could see a main trail coming through the woods. So I just want to widen that out just enough so that I can cut it once a year with the lawnmower. And then they'll start using those trails. So that's kind of where I'm going, is right straight through. And this is all the same stuff. This is all that balsam trees. A couple of white pines are scattered in there. Yeah, the balsam to me is just, I don't know. They don't bed down in there, so it's not a good tree to have on your property the way I look at it. If you're trying to hold deer, it doesn't seem to be anything they want. So even though it looks thick, yeah, it looks thick, like you would think, oh, they'd bed in there. No, they don't bed in there at all. They can't move freely through it, and so they don't even go in there, you know. So we're gonna make a trail through there, and that might take me a little longer into summer here to finish that section of that trail. But what I'm probably going to do is start on the other end where I can see the trail, and then come this way and then kind of meet these two at the middle, sort of. Let's just walk over here once a little bit. So now we're heading east towards the food plot. You can see the sun up there. It just came up a little bit ago. So this corridor right here is the one I put in a few years ago. Same time that I cut all of these trees down in here. Okay, so you can see how thick that is in there. But if they can't move through it, they're not going to use it. So part of the goal for this year is to clean some of this up. And I started right here, making this trail go through better over to the food plot. There's another one up that way, another trail. And you can see I got some cleanup to do here. Some of this stuff fell on the corridor, so I got to clean all of that up today. But if we follow this one through here, so I had come out here this winter and I cut some of these. This was a popple that you can see it goes all the way down there. Now that would be one that I could probably grab with the tractor and take out for firewood, and that would open this up a little more in here. But that was right across the trail here, right across. So they weren't using it. Now that I cut it, you can see there's tracks here. They're coming through here now, which they weren't before. So that's the goal. As long as, yes, thick and cover for them to lay in where they won't be seen by us or they can't see you. It works either way, but they got to be able to move freely through it. So we cut this one out, and I believe I cut this other one up here. Now that they have an opening going both ways, maybe they'll use this little pocket here. Maybe they'll make a bed in there, you know. Right now nobody's using that. It's not being used by anybody. No, it looks like a nice spot to me, but the deer aren't using it, you know. So we got to do a little more cleaning up here. Yeah, I sawed this piece right here, but I couldn't lift it, so I'll come in here. What I'm going to do is I need some more rocks. So there's a rock pile right here. I'll come in as soon as I can get in here with the tractor and clean up some of these rocks, and that'll make a nice trail through here right out into the food plot. Okay, and as soon as I get it cleaned up, they'll start using it. All right, so some of these chunks here I'll take back and use for firewood, split them up. You know, here's another big popple that I could probably grab some of it out of there with the tractor and just remove it, you know, get it out of there, use it for firewood. Here's a few that I cut that never really fell. I think that one is a cherry there. The other ones are balsams, I believe. But yeah, we're gonna get this cleaned up a little more this year. That's my goal. See if the deer use it a little more. Because when you come out this trail right here, right there's the Pablo stand, right up there. So the main goal is to get them to use this more, come through here, hopefully start bedding in some of these areas. This was another trail that I left open that kind of goes up towards the smaller food plot 1. Now, since I've cut this all, this is what's growing back in 2 years, are these little shoots. That's what you're looking for, because that's what they feed on all winter long, are these little shoots like that. So if I can get the rest of that, you know, more of that to grow in these other areas, I think this will help. But it takes a while. It's not an instant it's not an instant fix on your property when you do this stuff. I know the guys on YouTube, they show you these patches where it's, you know, 10 feet tall already of all this thick, you know, young undergrowth. That didn't just grow over 1 year. That's a fictional thing they tell you to make you feel good about doing what you're doing. This is 2 years growth here, and they keep eating it down, and it probably won't get much bigger than it is because they just eat it down every year. So let's walk up this way a little bit here. So I keep a trail clean right up here along, you know, just, what are we, 10 feet, 20 feet in from the food plot there. So I keep this trail clean here so they can move back and forth, which they do here and there, but right now it doesn't look, there's a couple tracks in it, but not many. So these balsams, these things grow like weeds. I don't know what else to say about them, but they're growing everywhere. You know, I gotta come through here again with my my little circle saw type thing on the weed eater and snip all this off so this doesn't keep growing. Because in another year that'll have this trail closed off with that balsam again, you know. So I always thought that would be a nice bed right there, but it doesn't seem like anybody's using it. And maybe it's because of this log right on top like that. Maybe I should cut that one off right there and just leave this big one so they can kind of tuck underneath there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I get the saw going how much I get done. So this is food plot 1 up here ahead. And this area right in here, this is an area that I did about that same time. I cut a couple of these big trees down and opened up the sky. Let's walk in there a little further. So if you look up, I opened up a big area here of sky. And this is what's growing. All these little shoots now are growing in here. And that's what we want, is to keep that growing. I may come in here. I got a few logs there that I could cut into firewood. And maybe pull some of these branches out also, just to clean that up a little more and give it an even bigger area for this small stuff to grow. And it's looking pretty good. But then again, this is 2 years ago that I did this. Right before my arm surgery, I'll cut all of this stuff. This is actually a good time of year to come out where you can see where the sun is actually hitting. You know, even though you have an open area like this here, if you got these tall trees, okay, blocking the sun, the snow doesn't melt in here, you know. But then you get an area like this where the sun is hitting it, you know, you can see where the sun is actually hitting and melting the snow faster. So we open up a pretty good sky right here, right in this area. Like I say, we got that big trunk in there that could get pulled out, maybe, I don't know. But I think there's a lot of little stuff growing up. This stuff here. Not sure what these are until it gets a leaf on it, but a lot of stuff coming up that wasn't there before. Got a few dead ones in here yet that I can take down. You know, it's all a matter of time getting out here and just cutting them down, getting the firewood hauled out, and, you know, pushing some of the branches around so they can, you know, it's not blocking the trails and whatever. So our main goal today is to get this cut down, get this taken, put it in there for a screen kind of, and just kind of clean my trail back up here so I can drive through here. And I'm thinking about, on this main corridor here, is to plant something like Hot Chick from Domain, or one of the other ones that comes back every year, and just kind of plant it right on this trail here. Because I don't drive on this during the summer at all. I only really drive on it in the winter. Just to do what I'm doing right now, cleaning up the trees. So that's my plan here, is maybe to put some of that stuff down on these trails here. This one and this one that we just walked by over here. This one here, and just scratch the surface a little bit with my plow and throw some of this, it's kind of like a no-till seed, and throw it in there and see how it grows. And we got to do that right after the snow disappears. We want to, you kind of frost seed it. So we'll clean this up as soon as this snow is done and it dries up a little bit. So hopefully by mid-April, we're putting some seed down in here. I think right there, that's good spot for the Milwaukee. All right, so we're back to our circle here. So what I have is some power plant from Whitetail Institute that I bought by mistake. I thought I ordered one bag and I ended up getting two. So I'm thinking I'm going to try that in here, because that's supposed to grow taller. It has sunflowers and other stuff in it. But if they eat it like crazy, then it doesn't grow to nothing. But I think I'm just going to throw that down here. I don't know if the seed's any good anymore or not, but that would be a good one to throw in here and try and get something to grow in here, so that the weeds and the balsam don't take over again. Okay, we're gonna go get the saw going and get this trail cut up. So if I haven't told you this before, this Milwaukee is the perfect saw for this kind of thing. You know, 2 to 3 inch diameter stuff. You know, cut it and get it out of there. You don't have to start the big saw, and you just go at it. All right, that trail's cleaned up. Move up. We'll go up there. I see another spot I gotta clean up there. So this was, let me get rid of that one. this was just a little wide. It meets up with the other trail there. And I want to keep that open because that kind of makes them come down this trail or over through that trail over there. Alright, that's all cleaned up. I'm sure if we get another wet heavy snow there will be more. But some of this is from me pushing it through the field from the opening over here. Just pushing the trees up, they bust through into your other trail. So as far as this Milwaukee goes, the only issue I've had with it all summer long, or I should say all winter long, is when it gets really cold out, I have an issue getting the batteries to charge. Because they're sitting out in a garage that's, 10 degrees out there, and they don't want to charge until you get them warmed up to a certain temperature. But that's one of my issues with electric, is it doesn't work in the winter. Your cars don't start, your four-wheelers don't start, and in the summer they're just fine. So maybe 10 years from now they'll have the battery thing figured out. I don't know. It's come a long way in just a short period of time, so I'm thinking they'll get it figured out sooner or later. But for right now, that's my only issue with this saw. It works great. The chains last a long time, as long as you're not cutting into the dirt and stuff. It holds up pretty good. All right, we're just gonna follow this loop around and see if there's any more trees down on this loop, and we'll knock them down if there are. It's a good time of year for doing this stuff. You don't have the bugs. It's still at a nice temperature where you're not getting all sweaty and everything. But yeah, good time. The snow kind of puts a damper on things a little bit. It's kind of hard walking. We came out for a walk yesterday and we trudged all the way up by the Bird there by Speedy, and yeah, that didn't work very well. It was kind of hard walking. But hopefully the next couple of weeks this will all be gone and we'll be able to get going on stuff before it gets too warm out. There's Speedy waiting for me. Hey buddy, did you find your food? Huh? Did you find your food, buddy? Hey. Let me get some food for you. Somebody else raiding your dish? Oh yeah. Somebody's been in there. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah, here you go. Come on. There you go. Yeah, you're a chicken. You're a scaredy cat. I'm so nice to you, I don't know why you're such a scaredy cat. There you go. It's not going to rain for a couple of days. We'll put that right there for you. I never knew that rough grouse was such a friendly bird. All my years of hunting and stuff, I've never ran across one that, and then that they have two in just a couple of years is amazing to me, that they're this friendly, or this, you know, they warm up to you after a little while. You don't like it when it's in the hut, huh? But that keeps it dry. So I cut this tree down, oh, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when we had the dry weather. And then we got all this snow, so I just kind of left it lay. But yeah, it's kind of in my way, so I want to get it cut up and get it out of here so we can start driving the tractor back here and stuff. But I don't know, Speedy don't seem to want to help, he just wants to watch, so. I don't know, I can't get my big saw running, so I guess it's going to lay for another day or two until I figure out what's wrong with this thing. I took it apart the other day because it's leaking gas, and I can't find where it's leaking from. But I still was able to get it running, and now I can't get it running. So maybe when I was putting it together and taking it apart, I bumped a wire or something in there. I don't know. I'll have to take it back on the bench and work on it a little bit. Something's wrong with it though. It doesn't just, smells like gas all the time now. So it's got to be a pretty good leak in there somewhere on one of the hoses. All right. So I think that's it for this video. If you like these videos, give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. And hopefully we'll have some of this stuff cleaned up out here.